Hold on to your butts. These are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Welcome back. My name is Guy Hasson and you are listening to the Squashbuckler Diaries podcast, the daily diaries of Shelley, the girl who lives in a dream. The girl in the dream. She lives in her father's dream, and every night he dreams about adventure and swashbuckling, and together they defeat villains every day of her life from age 0. They are watched over by the Red Dragon, who also tells the story. And they live on a pirate ship called Bonny's Revenge, a flying pirate ship with an infinite prison inside an infinite corridor in the belly of the ship, where they put all the villains that stay behind even though her father wakes up. And they don't know they're in a dream. That day may come. For now, season 1 follows her through ages 2 to 6. Following that, the first book, Lost in Dreams book, will come out in the beginning of 2021. And then we'll have season 2 of the Squashbuckler Diaries podcast, where we follow her through ages 6 to 9. And then we'll have book number 2. And then we'll have 9 to 12, and so on and so on. I'm doing something that's never been done before in books, in anything. Basically, we're building a life. We're building a completely full album of her character's entire life. So, and of course, she's going to be a heroine, but we'll get to that. She's even a heroine now, if you follow some of the stories. Speaking of which, today we usually stay away from a showdown with some of the adventures they have. And last 2 times we talked about how Joy repeated everything Justin said, which drove him crazy, and then he convinced her that that's the weapon they should use to drive the villains insane. But now his subconscious has shaped the dream, and neither of them realizes it. So let's see what happens. Episode 48, The Showdown. Come Again, Part 3. Joy's age 3, told by the Red Dragon. Following the events of the morning, where Dragon Little drove Dragon Father crazy, Dragon Father and Dragon Little fought the lackeys of evil on the robot planet until at last they came to the palace of the Robot King. "It is useless to fight me," the Robot King whirred. "I have conceived of every possibility, every contingency. You have lost before you have made your first step." Dragon Father nodded at her. Together they looked back at the Robot King and said, "You have lost before you made your first step?" The Robot King buzzed a bit in confusion, then said, "No, it is you who have lost." Dragon Little and Dragon Father said, "No, it is you who have lost." "Space pirates, what is going on here?" There was distress in the king's voice. "Space pirates, what is going on here?" They answered together and took a step towards him. "Are you repeating everything I say?" He took a step back. "Are you repeating everything I say?" They chorused. No, your behavior is confusing my circuits." "Your behavior," they came closer, "is confusing my circuits. Only one thing to do. Only one thing to do." With a trembling hand, the Robot King pressed a button. The wall slid open behind him and a huge robot stepped out. Dragon Father's posture changed. Now there was fear in it. "What is that?" he asked the Robot King. "Like I said," the Robot King answered, "I have taken care of every eventuality." "What have you done?" Dragon Father demanded. "What have you done?" the huge robot echoed. "Oh no," Dragon Father said. "Oh no," the huge robot echoed. Dragon Father grabbed his head with both hands. "I hate this day." I hate this day, came the metallic answer. And so it was. The Dragonfather's certainty in victory turned into deep frustration. The battle, however, was not won in his dream. The battle was won when he was awake. I will tell you that story tomorrow. Told by the Red Dragon. Tags, Robot King, Joy, Justin. Well. Turns out you can't predict a dream. We usually, like I said, we usually don't follow the adventure because the Squashbuckler Diaries is not about adventure, but sometimes it's just interesting to see what kind of life they live. The big adventure, the actual adventure where she is not protected, will be in the books. But right now she is protected more or less by his subconscious, and his subconscious draws out some strange stuff. So, stick around for the exciting conclusion. In the next step, part of, just a slice of life, just a day in the life of another person growing up in a dream. So, stick around, find out what happens, and I will see you tomorrow. And now, the credits. The Squashbuckler Diaries are written and read by me, Guy Hasson. If you want to know more about the Squashbuckler Diaries, check out the website, guyhasson.com, which is GUYHASSON.com. The theme music is called Brash Gentleman and is by Thomas Herudek. I will talk to you again tomorrow in the dream. Ahoo! Okay, sorry about that. Dragon Little looked at Dragonfather. Dragonfather nodded at her. Dragonfather nodded at her. Dragonfather nodded at her. Dragonfather nodded at her. At her. Dragonfather nodded at her.